Good morning. Welcome to Bazaar Morning Call. I'm Lata and Anuj and Sonia with me in this Low Apparel studio. Well, the backdrop is more Sonia's color actually. It's been a day where the dollar is strong, Dow or equities, Dow Jones is weak, Asia is weak, and yields are higher. All are indicators of a risk off in the global environment. But the point is, will we be outliers? For some time now, we are showing decoupling on a day-on-day basis, not on an overall macro basis. And that could well be the case because you saw a good FII number yesterday, over 1,000 crores of investment. So it's really difficult to tell whether we're going to follow through with this global backdrop. But all I want to put on the table is that the global backdrop is not very positive at this point in time. And if you looked at earnings, well, domestically, there's nothing much to say in the sense that earnings are weak, but everybody is guiding for a better future. Even IIP, the number is weak, minus 17%, but it is better than May and it is expected to be better in July. So lag data is definitely weak. Now, what might help the mid caps, and yesterday they didn't get that help, so whether it will come today and tomorrow, because now you start moving into expiry mode Wednesday and Thursday, is the feeling that come August 15, we are going to get some bonanza from the government. That might continue because the government has been announcing at regular intervals. So that could be a positive. That's just my guess, Anuj, but how's the market position?
Morning, Lata. Since you spoke about the backdrop and being negative, I think today could be the best day to buy because, over the last few days, the problem for the market has been that there's been a gap up. And if you chase that gap up, it was not working. But this buy on dips thesis of the market will be tested today. If you want to buy on dips, today is perhaps that dip. Also, what I have noticed is if you see the chart of the Nifty, every incremental low has been 300 points higher than the previous low. Last low was 10,881. Make it 10,900. So 11,200 now becomes your line in sand. And as long as that is holding, and with a 100-point decline, if the SGX Nifty is right, first of all, so you start at 11,222, which would be very close to 11,200. As you said, FIs continue to buy, so that's a good sign, 1,000 crores. Now remember, we spoke about some kind of shakeout yesterday. The market will shake out some of the weak hands. I think that's also visible in the global markets, the way gold and silver fell yesterday.
Oh yeah, 5%.
Exactly. Now, for someone who bought 3 months back, that's okay. But for someone who jumped on say, yesterday or day before, and that's what the market will keep doing. It will keep shaking out the glory chasers, and that's what you got to be careful of. Also, I don't know why the SGX Nifty is down more than what the Asian peers are doing. Is it because of IIP? If yes, then that's the best buying opportunity. If there's something else, let's find out. But my high conviction call right now is that the Bank Nifty leads the market from here. We saw the sign of that yesterday. Yesterday, Nifty closed way off the highest point. The Bank Nifty closed at the highest point. The Bank Nifty remains the index to focus on. My base case is that today in the first hour, you would see a lot of shorting perhaps. And once those shorts tire out, you would see a second half rally today led by the Bank Nifty. And I think the indications of that would start coming from if the Dow futures recover or if Asian markets, European markets recover. So after a 100-point decline, you don't want to short. You want to look at some kind of buying opportunity. As I said, perhaps second half buying is possible. 11,200 is your stop loss. If you get stopped out, so be it.
Okay, well, Anuj, morning, Lata, morning. Of course, after 6 days of running hard, there's some consolidation is not something to worry about, I guess. Yeah. But Anuj, the question is that should one buy the dip now, or do you think that this shakeout could, take some more time? Because, you've seen 5% fall in gold, 13% fall in silver, and across the board, even Asia is under a lot of pressure this morning. So, yeah. Do you think that, this could be a period where some profit taking is seen across asset classes globally, and maybe you'd want to wait before buying that dip?
The only problem, Sonia, is that if you don't buy the dip and after that the market just surges through. That's what happened last time, right? It was just, I think 10 days back that we went to 10,900 and then had that 400, 500 point rally. Look, just to carry home the point, I was making, press home the point I was making. Look at ICICI Banks and HDFC Bank's ADR yesterday. They did well even in a falling US market. And also one thing which stood out for me yesterday was this move from FANG stocks. Nasdaq was down quite a bit into financials in the US market as well. A lot of these stocks like JP Morgan, Citi, etc., they did well. So I think that could be a bit of a global theme. Financials have underperformed and purely from the valuation point of view have now reached a stage where they're below the median valuation. That could lead the next round of market rally is my base case.
Okay, and on the IIP, Lata, I mean, should the street be concerned, or is this backdated information because of which we'll move on?
You put your finger on it. I'm not a big fan of IIP for exactly the reason you say. It comes very late. We already have June 30 numbers of corporates. Yeah. But I still want to point out a very big silver lining. All the numbers were contracting. They contracted less in June than they did in May. I mean, you can take mining, electricity, manufacturing, consumer durables, infrastructure. All of them you will see that it is a negative number, but it is not as negative as May. Take only consumer non-durables. That is your, your soap, sanitizer, biscuits, non-durables. They don't endure. They are FMCG. That's up 14% year on year. That means we produced more FMCG in the month of June 2020 than we did in June 2019. Yeah. I mean, that's superb. Well, one should expect that when you sit at home, you tend to have these consumables consumed more than anything else. But that just stood out for me. Actually, there's no reading at all. It's just that it's a slightly improving trend. The big worry is that we will see a good number in July and whether we will falter there. That is a very big worry because there have been more lockdowns after the initial phase of unlock. And secondly, we must not get carried away by manufacturing anyway. India is a services country. Manufacturing is all of 20% into the GDP. It is 60 plus, some 64% that comes from services. And when did you last go to a spa? Are your children go to school? Will there be tuition teachers? How much of, non-elective health surgeries or even health checkups will you do? These are the services which make money for an economy. We are not indulging in that.
Okay, by the way, today is a big day of earnings as well, so don't lose sight of that. A lot of non-index large caps coming out with numbers, Ashok Leyland, Bharat Forge, there's Aurobindo Pharma. So plenty of action and excitement on the street today.
Just one point, last few days or several days I've noticed that SGX Nifty starts very bad when we start the show or even when I'm starting from home. It looks much more benign when we start trading.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
I don't know how well it's traded.
I don't know for starters if we'll start at 11,238 and also my point, the time has come for now exchanges to start index trading in India 24/7. I mean because there's just too much news flow and index should be available to be traded. So that is okay. Look, at the end of the day, everyone must realize that in a global environment where stocks move, in the evening there are so many developments, especially yesterday around 7:38 when you see so much move in commodity markets, indices move and you should, otherwise this kind of gap 100 points, 150 points, that creates a bit of an equilibrium.
Okay, well, let's get you a lot of opinion. We have a wealth of opinion coming through this morning. On the equities, first up, Mahesh Nandurkar of Jefferies says the results of 53 domestic companies under coverage was largely better than expected, helped by lower costs. Key earnings upgrade was seen in select private banks, consumer companies, all cement companies, BEL and Gujarat Gas. The broader universe of 295 companies amongst BSE 500 shows a 30% revenue decline, but EBITDA margins were up about 2 percentage points year on year. Interestingly, staff costs were up 2% year on year, implying minimal job losses in the organized sector. This should augur well for urban consumption.
Okay, well, let's stop the opinion for the moment and get one of the biggest opinions from the financial sector. HDFC has successfully raised 10,000 crore through equity issuance. They've also raised just over 300 crores from the warrant issue. That's the upfront payment that comes from the warrant issue. Joining us now is Mr. K.K. Mistry, Vice Chairman and CEO of HDFC. Good morning, Mr. Mistry. Thank you very much. I know it's too early a call, but thank you for this. Can you just tell us what was the kind of appetite, any oversubscription details, any marquee names that you can share?
Well, I can't share names with you, but these were very good names. We got a fantastic response both for the warrant issue as well as for the equity issue. So the issue had two instruments. One was a direct equity